Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Raid Shadow Legends. And in today's video, we have the event that has gone live this morning for Balar the Lost, aka the Path of the Lost. And I have to say, just by looking at the numbers so far, we're going to be talking about this today because I think it's kind of crazy. This seems to be a little bit of a trap event, I believe. Because we're right in between what will be another fusion event in about like a week and a half. They're asking you to pull shards for this, and while it's not that surprising that that's a metric, I just don't think that this is a good idea. I was actually, you know what? I was actually thinking about doing it myself until I saw the numbers, and it just didn't look very good for me. We're going to be talking about all that and more in today's video, but before we get started, I do want to remind people, if you haven't started playing Raid yet, what are you waiting for? Download using the QR code in the top right hand of the screen or in the link in the description down below to get yourself Karato Fox Hunter for free and 3 amazing epics: Ugo, Lady Annabelle, and Fane at account level 10, 20, and 30. And also until the end of August, you can use the promo code Demon Slayer in the first 48 hours of a brand new account to get yourself Tholin Falbeard, the legendary Dwarf Slayer. So let's get started and talk about Balar the Lost, who is the topic of today's video. So who is he? He's a legendary of the Sylvan Watchers faction. Why do I want him, or why did I want him? Because he puts a shield buff on himself on his A1. I was hoping to use him for Doom Tower to solo the Scarab King. And if you don't know who that is, if you don't have shields, he throws out some annoying AoE that often provokes your team. And so on his A1, he places a shield buff on himself. He also does some pretty good debuffs. He does poison sensitivity. He does increase accuracy on his team, decrease resistance on the enemy, and more poisons, and more if he crits. And then he also does leech, and he can activate all the poison debuffs. And that's important for his passive, because for every time he activates a poison debuff, he stacks up ignore defense for himself for more damage. And then he also gets turn meter whenever a poison debuff is placed by him or his allies onto an enemy. So he is pretty good. I mean, as far as like, is he the best character in the world in the game? No, he's not. If you do get all four of the Chaos Awakes legendaries, you do get a special gift. You get like legendary relic and a frame and some other stuff. So Balar the Lost, Lemonisti, who you should have had for free anyways. We'll probably talk about her in a future video once I get her 5 red awakened, just to do some damage comparisons a little bit. The demon spawn, Gracchos Turndrake, who I did get in a recent event, right? So there's him. And then, of course, the one we talked about earlier on, which is going to be the dwarf Tholin Falbeard. So if you get all 4 of these characters together, then you get a special gift from Plarium for basically beating the patch. And Balar the Lost is the last character that I don't have. That being said, we need to really take a look at this event because it is not great. But let's take a look at the scoring metrics. So it's through artifacts and through shards. You can see down here that the ancient shards are worth 300, void shards are worth 750, primal 1800, sacred shards 4500. And then the artifacts, I mean, yeah, there's some decent points here, and you might be able to double dip to get additional points. But honestly, to make up, let's say like a sacred shard, just for pure shits and giggles, we'll pull out the calculator. So let's just say you get like, I don't know, an epic 6-star drop, right? And that would probably cost you in the realm of 18 to 20 energy. So let's just, for sake of argument, just round up a little bit at 20. So that would be 4,500 divided by 43 times 40. Like it's almost 1-to-1 actually in terms of like 1 energy per point. Like it's not quite there, right? But it's just not so great in terms of the sacred shards. So if you do want to make up these points, you're gonna have to spend quite a bit of energy to kind of bridge the gap. But let's take a look at how much it's going to cost anyway. So if we scroll to the bottom, to the right to the bottom, you can see that you can unlock Balar the Lost over here in this kind of square here. There's also a 5 red Balar up for grabs as well. Okay, so 60,000 points just for this square, 50,000 points for this. That's a lot. But then we got to go backwards, right? So we need, depending on what you're trying to unlock, you need a key, which means you either need to go to the left or to the right, or both if you're somehow crazy enough to get both of these, which I thought I was, but I'm not anymore. So 60,000, just let's talk about the bear unlock. So 60,000, 70,000, let's work backwards. 71.5, and then up here to 72. But then you need to go over here. And so let's just pull out the calculator again, right? So we don't get lost. So 72,000 plus 500 for the coins there. Let's go left, right? 1250 for the book, 2500 for the forge materials. And then that's where we need to go down the left hand side, right? So that's going to be another 2500 for the souls, another 3500 for the forge materials, 9,000 for the chicken, 7,500 for the forge materials, and then I believe that's 1,000 down here, right? So we're taking a look at like almost 100,000 for just the unlock, right? That's a lot. And divided by sacred shards, right? 4,500, just for example, it's going to be 22 sacred shards just to get them unlocked. Now it is a guaranteed, in this case, a guaranteed legendary, right? So if you want to double dip and pull sacred shards and also get points for him, it's just that it's a lot. Now it doesn't have to be right. You could use some combination. 2.5 primals would make one sacred shard, that kind of thing. So let's take that 100,000. Now let's see how much you would need for the 5 reds. So now we're going about 150,000, right? Plus 10,000 for that legendary book. We're working our way backwards. And we would assume that you've already done this one, so you don't need that. But now we need to go down the right side. So that's going to be another 500 plus 1250 for the core hammers, plus 2500 for the blue forge materials, and then 2500 for those essences, the things down there. And then we go down the right for 3500 for the forge materials, 9,000 for the barrel, and then 1,000 for the key. You know what? It would actually be a little bit cheaper because this looks to be cheaper to get the key than the one on the left. So actually, if you're going for the main unlock, I think you should be going for 10,000, 13,500, 16,000, right? So 16,000, 18,500, 20,000, 2,500, right? Instead of going the left. So 25, 21. Let's double back. It would still be about like 93,000, honestly, just to get the bear unlock. So ignore what I said about 100k. It's more like 93k if you go down the right key and get that first. But it's still a lot of points. And if you wanted everything, it would cost you 180,000, which is just insane, just for pure shits and giggles. It would be 40 sacred shards just to do that, right? That's pretty expensive. Now, what you could do is, if I don't know, if you're really interested, you could just go down the side and just go straight for the mythical twisted horns, because the Chaos Awakes Forge, those relics, some of those relics are actually really valuable. Are they worth your shards though? That's the question, right? And that's going to be for everyone else to talk about or to discuss, right? And decide. I didn't mean to click on that. Relic index, right? For the Chaos Awakes, and that is over. Where is it? Like this one? Which one's this one here? So these are the Crown of Corruption is really, really good, right? But you're only going to get a chance to get this. Wearer deals 5% more damage and receives 5% speed when above 50% HP. This is really, really nice. It's a crit damage main stat as well. Below 50% HP, Wearer deals 25% less damage and loses. So, you want to be at high hit points, basically. And the Covetous Passion, also, you get like a shatter buff for 2 turns at the start of a round, though. Probably better for Arena. But really, really nice relics. It's just that you're not guaranteed to get it either. If I'm not mistaken, like you end up getting, like, I know for the blues, right? Like you end up getting like I think it's almost like a 50% chance that it's actually a mythical, and it's not even guaranteed that it's a mythical. So that's something that concerns me as well. So I'm not sure if I'm going to bite into this. There are, however, some pretty interesting progressive chances that if you did want to kind of try your hands at this, there are some interesting characters, right? There's Thor. You also have a Tholan Falbeard, which is hilarious. And also some epics that are used for the Lady Mikage fusion that you can find here. Cheshire Cat's not bad. Cowlight the Ash Arrow is actually a pretty good nuker if you actually really need it for Sylvan. There's a lot of Sylvan Watchers coming out lately, though. And for the Void Shards, you have Akum Tomb. You also have Weregrin, Suncursed for Lady Mikage as well. And probably out of all this would be like Gorgud the Breaker, Jorgud the Breaker. But yeah, or Onro Iastu is actually pretty good as well. But nothing super, super amazing. So I'm not really sure if I'm going to bite on this. I have some decent shards here in my possession. I have 19 sacred shards. I probably could unlock him, but then I would be completely broken. I'm not sure if this is something that I want to do for Balar the Lost. As much as I want a champion that could solo Scarab King and maybe do a little bit more, I just don't know if this is the event for me. But it might be the event for you. So, you know what? Let me know in the comments down below what your plans are for this. But I think it's just a bit too much for me to bite down on. I think that as much as I want him, I just don't think that I can do this points wise. I think it's outside of my reach. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below about this event. This is going to be obviously just kind of in between some other stuff going on. We're going to have probably within the next week or so some introduction about who the next Fusion champion is going to be. And so I kind of want to see this as a little bit of a lull week in terms of getting ready for something better later on. So that's just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments down below. Before we go, I do want to remind people that if you haven't started playing Raid Shadow Legends yet, what are you waiting for? Download using the QR code in the top right or in the link in the description to get yourself Karato Fox Hunter for free, Legendary of the Shadowkin, and 3 amazing epics, Ugo, Lady Annabelle, and Fane at account level 10, 20, and 30. And you can still get yourself Tholin Falbeard, using the promo code Demon Slayer within the first 48 hours of a brand new account. We already talked about him a little bit in today and over the last month. Great champion there. I use him every single day. So that's going to be it for now, everyone, and I'll see you guys all on the next video. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you'll be greatly helping out the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.